I know it's been a while since my last post, but there's something that's been so heavily on my mind that I wanted to talk about. And that's the fact that in life, you have to get lucky and you have to profit off of that luck. So throughout this video, I want you to really pay attention to the different definitions that I use of luck because there's so many different things that go into it. Whenever you see somebody that has a lot of success, even if you think of Mark Zuckerberg, if you think of your favorite social media content creator, if you think of somebody that just made it big, that just did something big, that started a business that got a lot of traction, you'll notice that more often than not, there will be people that say that they got lucky. And while luck is a factor, obviously you have the hard work as well, but luck is always going to be a factor, so that's why people say that. I mean, if you take a look at, let's take Mark Zuckerberg, for example. Yes, he started Facebook in his college years, and it turned out well for him, but he had an incredible amount of luck that went into it, that went into distributing his product, that went into gaining traction in comparison to things that existed at the time, such as MySpace. And so you're always going to get some form of luck involved. And so the people will take that luck that you did get and run with it. How many times have you gotten lucky in your life? Probably a lot more than you think. There's so many different circumstances in which you can get lucky. Say it's even just, your family members living for a long time. That's luck. But that's the thing. Luck doesn't have one single definition. So I'm going to start with this definition. That luck can be defined as something that happens that's good in your life that you can't control. And that every day you're going to experience some kind of luck. Waking up on time without your alarm, something good happens at work, something good happens between your friends. Like, those are things that are outside of your control that no amount of hard work would be able to provide. But the reason why these people are successful within their businesses, within their lives, is because they continuously take shots. And when you take shots, you're more likely to hit one than you are to miss every single one for your entire life. Unless you just don't take very many, if any, at all. Even Steph Curry is just over 30% from three. If he only took 2 3-points in his life, there's a good chance that he would miss both of them and he would never hit one. Now, that's obviously not the case because Steph Curry has taken hundreds of 3-pointers, but that's why he's hit so many as well. It's the same thing with making money, with starting a brand, with your faith. You have to continue to take shots on that. I remember I used to struggle with my faith a lot because I am a religious person. And even in that, even in my beliefs, it's like I had to keep trying. I had to keep taking shots, and eventually it got to a point where I was satisfied. See, luck is something that's completely out of your hands always. Kind of. See, luck is a variable that is outside of your control. However, you can impact the percentage chance that you're going to encounter that variable by increasing your output. If you do more things, if you try to start more businesses, you will eventually have one that's successful. And if you don't, that's a lack of volume. See, so many people that I've talked to that have had successful businesses in their life generally start with failure. Generally, they start the first 5 with failure. Why? Because it takes a set of knowledge to then produce something good enough to get lucky. See, when you provide something of value to people, when you're able to hook them into an idea, when you're able to communicate effectively with people, those are all skills. And those are skills that you build over time. And so what happens is when you develop these skills, you're more likely to get lucky because you're more likely to be noticed. You're more likely to be seen. And in life, being seen is everything. It's so much more than anything you could ask for is publicity. That's why there's so many people that say, not that all publicity is good publicity, that there's not any bad publicity. Why do you think they say that? Because the art of being seen is the hardest but most effective thing on the planet. So when people notice you, they're more likely to listen to you. They're more likely to engage with you. And that helps everything. That can help your social life, obviously your financial life. That can help every aspect of your life. Because connections are really everything. So yeah, luck is something completely out of your hands, but it is something that you can influence. So the next definition of luck that I'll give you is having a set of skills so high that you're able to bring in good energy. They're able to bring in good karma. Now, I don't necessarily believe in the concept of karma, but I do believe that if you keep putting stuff out into the world, eventually it will be returned to you. Eventually, good things will happen if you put good into the world. There's a very small percentage of people that will only put good into the world and only get bad. I mean, every day you're encountering good circumstances that you might have not thought feasible the previous day. So cherish those and continue to take your shots so that you have a higher chance of seeing success in whatever you intend to accomplish. This is Lifetime of Landon, signing out.